Hello everyone, it is I, the Witch of Paint, also known as Daria. Welcome to this video. This week I am painting a fairy inspired, and emphasis is on inspired, by the Lunar New Year / the Year of the Rabbit. I do realise that I am a week late to this Lunar New Year, that was last week, but it's still the Year of the Rabbit, so it counts. As you may see, I was using a bunch of Pinterest images to inspire the outfit that my fairy ends up having. It is not meant to be accurate to any particular Asian culture. I was just having fun with what I found on there and mushing the images together and all that. Don't come at me for not being accurate, thank you very much. That's not what the point of this video was, but let's get on with it. First, I sketched out a general design I wanted for this fairy, which I don't usually do, but this one was supposed to give a certain vibe after all. So, using the Pinterest images as inspiration, I gave her a cute umbrella. I will later try to make the umbrella look more like a flower, but that's not a part of this sketch as of yet. I gave her other hand a Chinese lantern to hold, and I know that sometimes these lanterns have a Chinese character on them. I opted out of that though because I do not know a word of Chinese and I don't want to put any nonsense on there. So I opted out of that. Then I saw a bunch of flowers represented in most of the images that I used as reference. So along with the bunny I sketched onto the skirt, she also gets a bunch of flowers on the front of the skirt, mostly just the skirt. Now I know that the kumquat tree or other citrus fruits are important to this festival, so although I am not sketching it out here, she's going to be standing upon the leaf of one such tree with the fruits behind her. Otherwise, I will mostly use colours from the red spectrum of things, since red is an important colour in the Lunar New Year, but more on that later on in this video. Once I was happy with the way the fairy looked in the small sketch, I tried my best to draw her on a big sheet of paper and, yeah, started painting. So, let's talk a bit about the festival, or rather what, I learned about it. Of course, Asia is a big continent and literally everyone who celebrates it will celebrate it differently. Some of the traditions depend on, where they live or how their family even celebrate it. Everyone probably has their own little set of traditions and their own way of celebrating things, like their own spin on the celebrations. So we'll just have to keep that in mind. Also, there's a difficulty for me being not Asian and not speaking any Asian language, that I don't exactly know the traditions and I have to look these things up, and sometimes the articles seem to be making up nonsense, so take anything I say with a grain of salt. And as I am German and I have not heard about Chinese New Year until I got to England when we moved, and at some point, some people were suddenly talking about Chinese New Year and it was a really big thing. I was a little confused back then, but essentially my reaction was more along the lines of, oh, okay, so Chinese people celebrate the New Year differently. Alright, cool. And then I moved on with my daily life. Because I didn't celebrate it and it therefore didn't really matter much to me. And I also never really bothered to even look it up. I don't know, I wasn't curious enough. I was too busy with school anyway, so... But, it's been a few years now, and I now have the time to get to know a little bit more about all of this. But I am German, and, I'm not familiar with the traditions surrounding the Lunar New Year, which, is apparent because I didn't even know it was a thing until a few years back. But how about we all learn something new together? Unless, of course, you already celebrated it. I always feel like I'm a bit late to all of these things. It's like, okay. But first, let's talk about the Chinese zodiac, because they are very important for these celebrations. They consist of the rat ox, tiger, rabbit, dragon, snake, horse, goat, rooster, dog, and pig. And Vietnam has 2 zodiacs that are different from the rest. Instead of a rabbit, they have a cat, and instead of the ox, they have the buffalo. So they're celebrating the year of the cat and not the year of the rabbit, which, as someone who loves cats, I can only approve of. Very interesting to see what other cultures have for the zodiac signs. Maybe I should, do a painting series where I take zodiacs from different cultures and, draw a fairy based on that zodiac. That could be fun. I don't know if I would do it for, my Twitch streams, which link is in the description. Or if I do them as, little YouTube videos like this one in the future. Tell me what you think in the comments. Would you like to see some zodiac fairies? And if so, what zodiacs do you want me to, do? I'll take any zodiac that exists. I don't take made-up ones. Well, maybe I will. That would be fun. A made-up zodiac system. Another thing that they also have is, they believe, or at least some of them believe, it seems, that the zodiacs help determine our personalities, health, wealth, and all that stuff. It's like literally everyone who has zodiac signs has that sort of thing, even over here we've got, those random articles that go here's who you should marry based on your zodiac sign. That sort of thing. I don't believe in it myself, but I do just sometimes open up those kind of articles just for fun. Once I had, I saw an article that was here's what kind of dog you should have based on your zodiac sign. And I clicked on it just for the fun of it. I don't remember what dog was perfect for me. I don't remember, but, it doesn't really matter because we're currently not allowed to have dogs in our house, so, I can always dream. But just because I think these kind of things are fun, I try to, take a little look at what some people say people born in the year of a rabbit are like. All of the sources that I did look at are below. There's not many, because this is only a short video and it's not long enough for, a proper deep dive, but, check them out if you want to. But anyway, from what I can tell, rabbits are supposed to be charming, compassionate and optimistic, and also cautious and imaginative. But apparently they're also quite timid, which, as far as I understand, rabbits are quite social animals, at least among themselves. You can't keep a rabbit, if you're keeping it as a pet, you can't keep it on its own, because it would get sick and stressed out and all that. So really, they're group animals. They're not really timid, but who am I to talk? Others say that the traits of our rabbit people, that's what I'm going to call them, depend on the elements as well. These elements being water, fire, wood, earth, and metal. I don't know. I always thought the elements were water, fire, wood. No, not water, fire, wood. Water, fire, earth, and air. Where do they get wood and metal from? I would love to know that. Anyway, water rabbits, supposedly, are gentle and friendly, but they have a weak mindset, which, water can be pretty darn strong, but whatever they say, I guess. Wood rabbits are supposed to be clever and quick-witted, but selfish. Fire rabbits are broad-minded, smart, and flexible. They don't say any bad trait in the article, but maybe they just get too heated in arguments or something. Earth rabbits are straightforward, ambitious, and hardworking. Again, no bad trait for some reason. I don't know. And metal rabbits are kind-hearted, lively, and enthusiastic. Never heard anyone talk about metal like that. But what do I know? Again, I'm just a random German kid learning about this. I'm not even a kid anymore. Anyway, let's talk celebrations, because I'm getting tired of these horoscopes. Even though they're quite fun, I gotta say. I like horoscopes just because it's funny to read them sometimes. So, Let's talk celebrations. Before the new year comes around, most families will clean their home to get rid of bad luck, which, it's practical and nice. I should also clean up my stuff, but later sometime. Good luck and bad luck is going to be a big theme in this as well. So excuse me if I keep repeating the words good luck and bad luck a lot. You've been warned. So, central to the festivities for most of the Asian countries that celebrate the Lunar New Year are often family and food. One of the most important parts, therefore, is the reunion dinner with dishes that have lots of symbolism and will hopefully bring good luck in the next year. These may include things like sweet glutinous rice cakes, which are also known as the New Year cake, a whole fish or a whole chicken at times, dumplings, sweet rice balls, braised shiitake mushrooms. I'm not sure how to pronounce it. There's 2 I's in that, but I don't like mushrooms much anyway. Anyway, right. Other foods that would be included are tangerines and oranges, longevity noodles, candies, and spring rolls. Of course, there's, other different foods that different countries are going to be having on Lunar New Year, but these are some of the things that I found, and they really do sound yummy. I'm getting hungry. Another important part is exchanging red envelopes with family and friends that contain money. The amount of money, at least with what I've heard, often depends on how well you know the person and how much they matter to you personally. And usually the festivities would end with a lantern festival, with fireworks and lots of bright, colourful lights to celebrate the coming of a new year. All the fun things. It's probably gonna be a lot of food as well, because people, when they're celebrating, they're gonna have food and fireworks and everything. It's gonna be fun. As I mentioned at the start, it's important to dress in red, because red symbolises happiness and good fortune. Oh, that's a good word for good luck. That doesn't mention the word luck. Anyway, I also made sure, of course, to dress it in lots of reds, but I also threw in some yellows and oranges and pinks and blues to create a little bit of contrast and interest in the overall image. That's just why there's, so many different colours in there. But, obviously red is the main colour there. You may have noticed that I messed up the rabbit face on the left-hand side of her dress. I had forgotten to cover them up with masking fluid at the start, and it got pink paint on it. My way of fixing that was to go over it with some darker paint, so I can go ahead and put a good layer of metallic paints over it later on, because I wanted the image to be shiny either way, so didn't really matter that much. And I love using metallic colours, and it was already so detailed, and I was like, yeah, it needs some extra stuff on it. I'm glad though that I first covered the smaller details with, masking fluids at the start, because that saved me a lot of trouble during the painting, because that bunny might not have been the only thing that got messed up if I hadn't done that. Though I do have to say that the masking fluid did rip a little bit of the paper, like a little bit. It's not bad, just dripped. I did do my best to cover it up with paint. I hope it worked out. I mean, it did kind of. It's not very visible, but I will forever know that those places have been ripped. That's the downside of masking fluid. It also sort of ruined my paintbrush just a little bit, but I don't really mind it because I wasn't using the paintbrush much anyway. It was from a cheap set, so I didn't exactly mind that. It's a bit annoying that the paintbrush now has this rubbery thing on it. I'm just gonna have to live with it though, because it's a cheap brush anyway, so it doesn't really matter much. Now the painting is almost done here, and this did take me quite a lot longer than my past few videos. The paintings where I was basically done with them in the morning. I started them in the morning, was done in the morning. But with this one, because there was so many little details, and I also added the masking fluid, and there was so much more drying time, it took me a lot longer. But I think it really, really was worth it. I really do. So let's take off the tape and take a look at the final result here. Isn't she so gorgeous and cute? I love her. I absolutely love her. And I hope you do too. But as this video comes to a close, allow me to wish you all a glorious year of the rabbit, or the cat, whichever one you celebrate. May this year bring everyone lots of good luck, as it is, the main thing for this festival. If you liked this video, don't forget to subscribe, like and share this video if you enjoyed the speed paint. I am the Witch of Paint, and I will see you all next time. Bye bye!